Hey guys, Lizardlea here for Christmas minis. 'Tis the season. It's a very simple one, but I'm already almost done with it.
Already almost?
Uh-huh. I just have the back stitching left. So I realized recently that I'm like super duper ahead of schedule. So today for me is December 11th. Yesterday was my birthday, but this isn't going to go up until like
Yes.
February or March. Like, I'm way ahead of schedule with all the cross stitching I've been doing because I want to stick with one video a week. I don't want to stress myself out because when I tried to do more, it was stressful. And I don't want to do that, especially with working full time. But
Tippy tap.
there are going to be a lot of Christmas 2020 videos going up in
Christmas in
2021.
February.
It's Christmas in July.
Well, you'll be doing it in February.
No, I'll be done by then.
Well, yes, but you'll be putting up videos, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm right. Thank you.
No. My channel will be doing that. I, however, will have finished. I hope.
You think.
I hope.
And you'll be doing Four Heavenly Beasts.
Yeah, it'll be really cool to go back to that. Especially with the lap stand that I have. I think it'll be easier.
That's good.
I hope. We'll see. Because it is gigantic.
Yes.
And I don't know how well you can fold scroll things over when it's all four ways. So I'll have to like watch some YouTube videos on that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because it's going to be way bigger than the scroll itself. Width and height. Height I can roll. Width I can fold. I don't want to do that though. I mean, I might be able to just go online and find like longer poles or something. What?
Yeah, longer scroll. What about depth?
It doesn't. I mean,
If you fold it, it's
I
actually
feel
a
like
problem.
having a thicker scroll frame or whatever would be worse. Or, well, I have no idea. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna go back to cross stitching.
Alrighty, so if you guys notice, this video is almost an hour long, and it's a pretty simple pattern. That's because I have not sped this one up. This one is completely in real time, so it's not double the speed, it's not normally the 9 times speed that I have up, real time. So you'll see every single time that I like fail to get the needle through the hole very clearly. It won't just be sped through like normal. So if anybody has ever wondered, what it looks like in real time, this whole video will be in real time. And I do stitches on this one, I do back stitching and French knots. So you get all of the good stuff. That also means I have to do a lot of talking, because I cannot sit here and talk specifically just about cross stitching for that long. All right. So I'm going to continue on with the weird questions I've got. As I've said before, if you guys ever have anything you want myself and or David to talk about or discuss, or questions to answer or trivia to do, just let me know. I'm happy to do whatever. Alright, so the one that I'm on, I did 77 with the present before. So 78. Who is most likely to help a thief escape? What does this say? Kind-hearted, or were they just the easiest to buy off? I mean, I'm not gonna help a thief escape, because I worked in retail and I had people steal from my shops, and I hate it. That's not cool, dude. So, I guess David? But I feel like if they're gonna take someone hostage, they would probably pick me first, just on the basis that I'm a girl and, people are less likely to attack a girl. In the sense that, like, if it's, if the thief grabs me, the police officers are going to be even less likely to try and shoot and attack the thief because I'm a young lady and blah, 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 blah. But David is much bigger than me and much taller than me. So, he would work as a good shield. So, but this specifically says help. So I don't see either of us helping a thief. I don't know, you guys. This is a very odd question. Like, if the thief is my friend, no, I don't know, because the people I hang out with, just, when they're down on their luck, they'd be more inclined to ask for help, like from family, from friends, than they would to just go and steal. So, neither? I don't know. Alright, here are 6 weird questions to ask a new friend. Well, not a new friend, sorry. 79. Have you ever eaten paper? I know I have. I don't know what the purpose was, but I know I have. And I don't mean like the candy paper, if you can actually call it that, because it is so bland, it doesn't taste like candy. But I remember, gosh, elementary school, middle school, somewhere, pretty young, where it was like fake money, and you're supposed to eat it because it's candy or whatever, but it didn't taste good. I mean straight up real paper. I know I have. I guarantee it. Let's see. Oh, the thing underneath says, best snack ever? No. If I recall correctly, very bland. Like, I mean, if you smell paper, it doesn't exactly smell delicious, right? Yeah, I have paper right here in front of me. Does not smell appetizing, so no. 80. How long can you hold your breath? I know I can for over a minute. I feel like that's going to be incredibly boring for you guys to just listen to silence as I hold my breath. So, no, we're just going to move along, but at least a minute. I know I can do at least that. 81. Oh my gosh. When you poop at home, do you drop your pants around your ankles or take them all the way off? Why take it all the way off if you're not going to shower afterward? I don't do either of these. My pants go to my knees. They don't go to my ankles. I've never done that. Do people actually do that? Sorry, I legitimately, I don't... When I have to look under a stall to see if someone is in there because, I've knocked and there's no response and I still want to make sure I don't accidentally walk in on, somebody who is either mute or scared to speak or too young and doesn't know what the heck is going on and they're just worried, I don't really pay attention to where their pants are. I just look to see if there are feet, and if there are feet, I'm like, oh, nope, that one's occupied, so I don't do that. I have never dropped my pants all the way, because then it's so annoying to have to pull them up that much further. Like, I know I've seen pictures on the internet of, especially guys, they'll take a picture while they are on the toilet facing down of a cat crawled up in their pants, and I'm just like, no. Cats are clean, and I guarantee you, dude, your pants and your underwear are not clean. The cat deserves better. But, no. I don't, no. 82. What can you talk about for hours? Well, obviously, the number one thing is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Buffy, Yu Yu Hakusho, Angel. I could definitely talk about any of those things for hours. I'm sure I could talk about Hunter x Hunter for hours. There are a lot of really good shows that I would just talk on and on and on and on and on about. Like, David and I have been watching Fairy Tail. We have, I think, 40-ish episodes left. And I watched a lot of it back in college. And it was before they had finished. So I caught up to the anime and then kind of stopped. I know that sounds bad. I'm not good at remembering to catch it every week. I was with manga, but with anime I was never good with that. And I do think a big part of that is AFN never made any sense with what it would air. So, I'd be really lucky if I caught Digimon on a Sunday at like 8 a.m. And then another day I'd catch it on a Wednesday at 2 p.m. And, one would be from season 1 and the other one would be season 3. So they'd be completely unrelated. And so I just kind of got used to watching stuff out of order. And kind of sucks. But another thing with me is I don't have the best memory. Like, I do try really hard to remember the things that my friends and loved ones tell me, so hopefully I'm not the worst. But when it comes to just remembering the different things that have happened on a show, I am terrible. I can finish an episode with David, and he'll be like, all right, what happened at the beginning of the episode? And I'll just be like, I don't know. I'm not good at that. My memory ain't there. Sorry. So it's really difficult for me to try and watch a show every week, because then I'm like, I need to go back and rewatch previous episodes. And then I just feel like I've lost so much time when I do that. So I fall behind so that I can instead just, binge it right at the end. So with Fairy Tail, if anyone has seen that, I'm sure David and I will talk about it eventually when we finish. There is an arc where the celestial spirits have changed. If you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. And I got to the fight with Kana and it was like a card game, and that was the last thing that I saw. So David and I have since passed that spot, and of the 12 fights, or however many there were, Kana's with the cards, that was my favorite. I freaking loved it. I love Yu-Gi-Oh, you guys. Or at least the original Yu-Gi-Oh. I didn't watch like GX or whatever the other ones are called, but the original, I loved it. I'll rewatch it. I have rewatched it, and I still like it. Cheesy, nonsensical stuff doesn't bother me. I still enjoy it. Anyways, what was I talking about? Fairy Tail. I have problems keeping up with things. We're watching Fairy Tail. And, okay, so when we're in the living room, we watch Fairy Tail. When we're in the bedroom, we watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I am not good at watching more than one show at a time. Because I get confused, and it's not good. So, like, when I wasn't in the mood to watch Fairy Tail, and he didn't want to go to the bedroom, he's like, oh, well, do you feel like watching The Mandalorian? And I was like, no, I'm already watching 2 shows that I haven't seen before. If I watch another one, I'm going to be so lost in all 3 of them. It'll be ridiculous. And he laughed at me, but we have not seen the 2nd season of The Mandalorian yet. We've only seen the 1st season. And I do want to watch the 2nd one. I didn't want to then, because my memory, you guys, I'm terrible. I'm really sorry, but I am. Okay, so how did I get on that? What can you talk about for hours? I can talk about shows for hours. How did I start talking about Fairy Tail? I was talking about the animes that I've watched that I could talk about for hours. How did I get onto Fairy Tail? See, this is what I'm saying, you guys. Like, I've already forgotten. I've been recording for, like, it looks like 13, 14 minutes, maybe 15. And I don't even remember the start of this question, which was not 15 minutes ago. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad. So, how did I get onto Fairy Tail? Anime and manga. I remember that. AFN. But I started talking about Fairy Tail. Alright, well, TV shows. Like, a lot of TV shows that I'm really passionate about, that I really like. Oh! Fairy Tail. Okay, So I was gonna say, I could talk about Buffy for hours, especially in comparison to a show like Fairy Tale. I like Fairy Tale, but I don't think it has as much substance as something like Buffy. So I don't know if I'd be able to talk about it for as long. So, David and I were talking about this. I was saying, since I've met him and I've watched more stuff and I've, read more books and everything, I don't necessarily have like better tastes so much as I have more expectations with what I watch. There were a lot of scenes with Fairy Tale where I was like, really? This is what we're going to do? So when I first watched it, Erza was one of my favorite characters. I can't stand her now. Literally, like every fight she goes into, I'm never worried that she is going to falter. I'm never worried that she's going to fail and someone else will have to break her out of it or, save her or whatever. Because she's Erza and she always wins. And there was literally a scene where they were like, oh, are we going to be okay? And Happy, who is currently my favorite character, and I did like him back then as well, he was just like, well, of course, it's Erza. And I was like, oh, okay, so that was just the writers or the original mangaka. I'm not sure if that one was canon or not. But that was them just straight up admitting, like, hey, yeah, Erza will just always win because she's Erza. Like, she is literally just a plot in and of herself. Like, it's so frustrating. Because they do get other characters who do have really good character development. But I feel like Erza Scarlet doesn't get any. But then you have a show like Buffy. And Joss Whedon, when he is given the opportunity, he spreads like little snippets everywhere of what he wants to do in the future. And the thing that I'm thinking of in particular in regards to that is with Faith and Buffy, where Faith is in a coma and Buffy is having a Slayer dream. And Faith says something along the lines of, like, oh, little Miss Muffet counting down from 590 or something crazy like that. And, and then she's like, oh, yeah, you have to prepare for little sis. And it isn't until season 5 that you realize what that was. And I'm pretty sure the Faith stuff was season 3? Was it season 4? I think I could be wrong. But either way, like, he started these little plot lines that paid off later. And that's when you meet Dawn. And you're like, oh, this is little sis. And the little Muffet 590, I know that number's wrong, so sorry about that. But it was, like episode 590. Like, it linked perfectly. So I really appreciate Buffy even more since I've met David and I've experienced more things. Because, I can see how awesome it is that Joss cared enough to try and put these things in that we wouldn't get paid off until a while later. Season 1, maybe season 2, you meet the first evil. What was it? Was that the Christmas episode where it snowed in Sunnydale? You meet the first evil, and then the first evil doesn't come back until the final season 7. Like, he brings characters back. And I really appreciate it. I really like it. And then there's so much character development all the way around. But I could probably talk about Spike or Wesley on their own for hours. That's how much character development they had. So I have so much more appreciation for all of this. I've already talked about this for like 10 minutes. Sorry. I could talk about cross stitch for hours if someone would listen. I could totally do it. I don't know if anyone would want to listen to that, but I could do it. Some of my favorite video games I could definitely talk about for a while, like Zelda Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. I personally really liked Skyward Sword. I really liked Twilight Princess, like everyone else. What other ones have I played that were really good? Breath of the Wild was really good. Oh my gosh, what was the one on the boat? Where he was like little chibi. Oh god, what am I... Young Link. He's on the sailboat. What is it called? I have to look it up now. Sorry. Zelda sailboat. Not Breath of the Wild. No. Why is it only giving me the new one? No. I want the older one. It was on the, Okay, maybe I'll put in a spoiler to see if it'll... Yeah, the King of Red Lions. Wind Waker, that's what it's called. Wind Waker was really fun. Still has my least favorite art style, but it was really fun. The dungeons were really good. It was enjoyable. I liked the story. So yeah, any of the Zelda games I've played I could talk about. A Bard's Tale is really fun. I really enjoy that one. I've been replaying Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World. I love that game, you guys. So, like, I was totally addicted to Pokemon growing up. I loved getting all the Pokemon and getting them all stronger and making sure every Pokemon was in the Hall of Fame so they, everybody had their chance against the Elite Four. Heck, I played Pokemon Stadium and I did that with all the cups. It was ridiculous. And I just, so Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World, you can go around and capture all of these monsters. And it is so much fun. And you can power them up. And I love it. I love it. I love that game. I love the story. I know a lot of people were disappointed with it because it's the main characters that were in previous games, Lloyd, Sheena, all of them, Regal, they weren't the main characters. They were minor. But I've never played another Tales of Symphonia game, so I fell in love with Marta and Emil, and then as the other characters showed up, like Genus and Rain, I fell in love with them too. So I was like, this is awesome. I don't know, I love it. I mean, heck, when I had played it, I had never heard of a Tales of Symphonia game, and my friend Sam had me, I played it with her, and she was the one who had played a Tales of Symphonia game in the past, and she was the one who told me about all of that. So, I don't know. I was just, untainted. Although she had, like I said, she had played a previous one and she still enjoyed it. So, I think it just depends on what kind of game you want to play. Because David's experience with Tales of Symphonia, he said a big part of it was, the fighting. And although that plays a factor, obviously, in the game, a big part of it is also going around and collecting these monsters. And if you don't like doing that, you're probably not going to enjoy it. I love it, so I love the game. What else can I talk about for hours? Yeah, you know what? I think I'll leave it at that. I think that's enough for now. 83. Which execution method do you believe is the most interesting in history? Bring it further by asking them why. You can even debate your answers. The most interesting. Okay, so I'm just gonna be straight up with you guys. I'm against the death penalty, so I'm trying to, there's hanging, there's the electric chair, there's the what is the word I'm looking for? The injection, I can't think of the proper term for it, sorry. The shooting squad, beheading with the, making the, what the heck is it called? The guillotine, there we go. So the most interesting. I mean, I guess the most interesting to me is the one with the shots, because you have to take in account so many things to make sure you're using the right chemicals and the right amount for the person's body, size, weight, etc. But honestly, I think a lot of them are kind of straightforward. I don't know if I could say that they're interesting. I don't know. 84. Do you smell your armpits? I have. When I've been worried that I, like, oh, I've been working out, or crap, did I put on deodorant this morning? Like, yep, I can smell my deodorant. And, yeah, I mean, like, if it's so bad that I could smell it without having to smell my armpits, that would be bad. But the fact that I need to smell my pits in order to know if I need to put on deodorant or not. At least I feel like I haven't offended anyone too badly. But yeah. Additional question. How do you try to smell it when there are people around? Have I done this? I mean, if I have the opportunity to go to the bathroom, that's easier. But probably just trying to scratch my nose on my arm. Or maybe trying to scratch my arm and I lean my nose over to check. Nah, I don't know. Honestly, usually I'm with a group of people that I would straight up just tell them the truth. Like, man, I need to smell my pits, you guys. But I don't think I've ever had to. Like, generally, if I'm going to go out, I put on deodorant beforehand. And I like the smell of my deodorant, so I don't really worry about it. Like, if someone else doesn't like the smell of my deodorant, sorry. Still smells better than just my normal ick. Okay. Let's see. Here's how to ask weird questions. What? Let go of your pride, preface the questions or don't. This is stupid. How to ask weird questions? Everybody, like, what? No. Okay. We're gonna go to a new list. That one is done. If it'll go away. Oh dear. I think my iPad froze. Oh, did we get it back? Okay, let's see. 122 random questions to ask. Fun and unexpected questions. I'll be the judge of that. We'll see. If it'll load. 12 random conversation starting questions. 1. If you had the world's attention for 30 seconds, what would you say? Ooh, what would I say? I don't know, maybe like climate change is real. We should try and fix it. But I feel like that when like the people who already believe won't need that. They won't need the reminder. And the people who don't believe, that isn't going to be enough to convince them. Even if I, like, for 30 seconds, I list out the facts that show, like, yes, climate change is real. We need to do something about it ASAP. I'm not going to convince anybody. So, I could probably just talk about, like, you should watch Lizardlea on YouTube. She does cross-stitching, and she needs more views. And you should give her topics to talk about. And it would be very interesting. Because at least, okay, yeah, sure. I'm sure plenty of people will come to my video and be haters, whatever. That's life. And but there will be a lot of attention where it'll just be like, yeah, I heard this voice in my head telling me to go to your YouTube channel. It was spelled Lizardlea, but it was pronounced Lee instead of Leah. And it was just so weird. So I had to come and view. And you know what? I'd take it. I would take that. Yeah. Because I feel like any of the potentially good things I could say, it wouldn't have an effect. The believers would still be believers, and the people who are non-believers, I would not be able to convince them. Whether you give me 30 seconds or if you give me 30 hours. There are some people who just refuse to change their stance on things. And that's life, unfortunately. 2, if you had to work but didn't need the money, what would you choose to do? Oh, cross-stitching forever. Cross-stitching and video games and listening to audiobooks. That would be so much fun. But it would specifically have to be video games I enjoy. Because, like, if it's video games, like sports ones or things like that, I'm not going to enjoy it. Shooters, So, no. Still fun, though. 3, what is in your fridge right now? Let's see. We have soda. We have milk. We have eggs. I have a lot of Lunchables in there. We've got whipped cream, caramel topping. I have leftover waffles in there. I have leftover, not soup, but noodles. I have... Oh, I just got David a bunch of yogurt, so he's got yogurt in there. It's not really exciting, sorry. Wacky, but you'll find out a lot about their diet. Oh, cool. 4, if you were home on a rainy Sunday afternoon, what movie would you most want to see on television? I mean, Clue is my favorite movie, but there are plenty of other movies that came on I would be more than happy to watch. Let's see, a rainy Sunday afternoon. Are there any movies with a lot of rain that I like? Nothing's really coming to mind. There was a lot of rain in Jumanji, right? I think it was rain, or at least it started to flood. So, you know, rain never hurt anybody. No, but a lot can kill you. I have actually seen the sequel, remake, whatever you want to call it, of Jumanji with The Rock. I liked it, but I liked the original more. I really enjoyed the original. 5, where do you not mind waiting? I don't mind waiting at the doctor's office. It's never bothered me because I okay, so to talk about something specific, in college, so yeah, I was still here in Vegas, I had a doctor's appointment, I don't know what time, so I'm just going to say 10 o'clock, and I got there at like 9:30, 9:45, so we'll go with 9:45 just to make it easy. And so I checked in, they're like, okay, fill out this paperwork, when you're done we'll call you when we're ready. And I was like, okay, cool. Filled out the paperwork, I waited. And I ended up having to go to the bathroom at one point, so I went up and I was just like, hey, my name's Elizabeth, I have to go to the bathroom. If they call for me, could you let me know? And they're like, oh yeah, no problem. So I come back, and at this point, it's 10:30, and I was like, So I walked up, I was like, hi, I had to go to the restroom. Did you guys have to call my name? And they're like, nope, you're good. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, thank you. It hits 11 o'clock, and I was like, I've never had to wait an hour before. Did they forget that I was here? And I was like, maybe they, maybe there was an emergency or something, and the doctor I was supposed to see got called away. Like, it happens. So I went up, and I was like, hi, I was supposed to have my appointment an hour ago. I just wanted to check in, see if we might be on schedule or if I needed to reschedule. And I swear, you guys, every time I went up, I spoke to the same guy at the desk. And he was like, you haven't been here an hour. And I was like, yeah, I have. He's like, no, you haven't. I was like, yeah, I have. I actually got here before 10 o'clock, which is when my appointment was scheduled. So he pulled out, I had to pull out my ID for him. So he had to double check, and he's like, oh, yeah, you did check in with me early. Okay, I'll get you an update. I'm so sorry. Just sit here and wait for a little while longer. And like 2 minutes later, he came on. He's like, I'm so sorry. The patient before you had a lot of questions. The doctor's almost done. I'm so sorry. And I was like, it's okay. You don't have to apologize. I just wanted to make sure, like the issue wasn't on my end or anything. And it's never bothered me, because my thing is, you should feel comfortable asking your doctor as many questions as you need in order to feel comfortable, with your health, with yourself, with your doctor. And I understand they generally schedule appointments to only be, like 15, 20 minutes or whatever. But if you have questions or concerns that force it to take longer than that, I will not be upset. I don't care, especially because generally my appointments were pretty fast. I usually didn't have a bunch of questions. Usually it was just catching up, making sure my asthma's okay and I'm doing all right, and yada, yada, yada. So yeah, it hasn't bothered me because I've been to the hospital. I've been hospitalized before. So, yeah. Where else do I not mind waiting? Oh, Disneyland. I totally don't mind waiting at Disneyland because generally the lines there are fun and not necessarily interactive, but they'll usually have things on the way that you can look at. Like, my favorite has got to be the Haunted Mansion. I love reading the tombstones and looking at the things that they have on the walls. I love it. Honestly, I wouldn't want to work that ride because I am very smiley. So trying to be like dark and dreary, it wouldn't be good for me. But like I would love to just slowly walk around there, like when the park is closed for a holiday or closed for cleaning or something. You know, I'd love to just take time to walk through that and look at all of the details. I would love it. And I guarantee you I would still miss things because that is how much there is there. It's awesome. Where else? I don't mind waiting. Like at the grocery store is fine. At at Michael's and Joann's and stores like that, it generally doesn't bother me. I just I get it. Like, and especially having been a cashier myself, I don't get mad at cashiers when it's a customer that's always the one holding up the line, or at least in my experience, it's always a customer. So, I and being impatient with the customer, how is that going to help me? It's just going to frustrate everybody even more, especially that customer. So then it's going to take even longer. And I don't want that. I will say, though, there have been times when I'll be in line for a while and, there will be several people ahead of me and there's like 3 cashiers. Cashiers 1 and 2 are keeping the line moving pretty smoothly, excuse me. And cashier 3, this customer will not just shut up. They won't go away. And other people complain and whine and be bratty about it. And I have had it before where I am the one who gets called up to cashier 3 when that customer finally leaves. And I'll always be like, man, I'm so sorry you had to deal with that. And every cashier I've ever had when that's happened, and it's happened a couple times, honestly, they'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry for the wait. And I'm just like, girl, it's not your fault. Like, anyone who blames you because the customer won't shut up and walk away, they're being douchebags. Sorry, not sorry. I understand that you want the cashier to tell them, okay, you're done, you can walk away now, but they could lose their job. And there are other customers who, if they hear the cashier saying that, they're going to call corporate on them, and that employee will lose their job. So it's a lose-lose situation until that customer just freaking leaves. Or potentially sometimes other customers will speak up and that'll get them to leave. But don't expect the cashiers to, dude. They should not have to put their jobs on the line. And that's exactly what it is. Because if that customer feels like they were being rushed out, they could call corporate and be like, you know what? I was asking this cashier some questions about the product I bought, and they very rudely told me to leave, and other customers told me to leave, and it was so rude. And I don't mind waiting. Except at a stoplight. I hate having to wait in the car. Okay, no. Stoplight is fine. I hate having to wait behind a vehicle when it's their turn to go and they're not going. So this includes at a green light, at a 4-way stop when it is their turn to go, at a circle when they can go and they're not because they either don't know how circles work or they're too afraid or what. I don't know. I get very frustrated in the car. Like, I become a potty mouth when I'm driving. I do not put myself or others in danger with the way that I drive. So I will say I feel like of the people that get some kind of road rage, mine is just verbal. And I always have my windows up so no one hears it other than, the people in the vehicle with me. So, yeah. I feel like I should have just immediately started with where I get impatient and where I do mind waiting, because shorter answers, sorry. 6. If you could close one fast food chain due to disgusting food, what would you pick? I wouldn't. If I don't like a place's food, I just don't eat there. I mean, I guess, like, if I have to pick a place in particular, who is it? Is it Chick-fil-A that actively contributes to, like, anti-LGBT rights groups? Is it Chick-fil-A? I don't know. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. Like, do not send them any hate until you have validated whether I am right or not, because I don't know. But if people enjoy the food, I don't want to take that from them just because I don't like it. That's ridiculous. And I don't think I've ever had Chick-fil-A, so I can't actually tell you it's because the food is gross. It's because I don't like what they stand for. Like, I love McDonald's. In-N-Out is probably my favorite, though. Like, if I could get a place to make McDonald's French fries and In-N-Out burgers, I would be set, you guys. I would be so happy. I have enjoyed Burger King on occasion. I like Wendy's. I love Arby's. Is IHOP considered a fast food chain? I love IHOP. Like, I am a very picky eater, but I don't feel like my opinion on food should affect anyone else in a substantial way. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's fair. So, I don't care. I wouldn't choose one. 7. If you could disinvent one thing, what would it be? What invention has caused the most misery? Well, okay, so straight up, the majority of my viewers are women. I might get rid of Viagra, all right? Like, I am so sick of guys saying things like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be. And, like, so they're against, a woman using birth control or things like that. All right, well, you don't get Viagra. This is how things are supposed to be. But obviously I know not every guy who takes Viagra is against things for women. And I don't think it's necessarily caused misery. I mean, if anything, it's probably made many people much happier. What has been a bad invention? I don't know. I know plastic is really bad for the environment, but it has helped us with so many things. Getting rid of an entire compound, I guess you could call it, would not work. Disinvent one thing. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I guess I could do something like the guillotine, something that has actively led to misery and has killed a lot of people. But I don't know how that would work, because, like, that would affect our entire history, right? Or is it just like, I'm disinventing it from this point onward? Because I don't know of any places that continue to use the guillotine. I think there's still a couple places that use hanging, but I think the guillotine is out, isn't it? I could be wrong. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I'm going to move on. If you guys think of something that should be disinvented, let me know. I can't think of anything right now. 8. If you could be a member of any TV sitcom family, which would it be? I'm assuming by, like, TV sitcom family, it's supposed to be something like, what is it? Tim the Toolman Taylor, Full House, shows like that, right? I can't pick, like, Buffy, because that would be freaking awesome. Deadly, but awesome. Honestly, you know what? I think I just answered it myself. I think Tim the Toolman Taylor. I love I loved their dynamic. I thought he was hilarious. I really liked the mom. Unfortunately, I did have a crush on Jonathan Taylor Thomas, the middle son. So that would not work. But I think that would be fun. And if I recall, they did have a good family dynamic. They had their issues, but they always sorted through them. Honestly, I mean, the Addams family had really great ways of working through everything. And Morticia and, oh gosh, what's the dad's name? Oh, I don't remember his name. They had a wonderful relationship. Like, they genuinely loved one another and took care of each other, and they genuinely loved their kids, and they loved their other family members, and I really liked that. So that could be fun. And it seemed like no matter what you did, none of them could die. So I could be immortal. That'd be cool. I think I just picked the right answer. 9. What would be the best thing about not having a sense of smell? Not having to smell terrible smells? Like, duh. Fun and weird and makes people think. Not really. I don't know. Maybe it's because I already have a terrible sense of smell. Like, and it's not that bad. Like, I've never had someone put, a poison out that had a specific smell that was dangerous to me, that if I couldn't smell it would have killed me. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else anyone would say besides that. 10. Or did I misread it? No, best thing, yeah. The good thing about it is no longer having to smell the bad stuff. Duh. 10. Would you leave your hometown forever or stay in your hometown forever? I mean, leave. I'm a military brat. I don't really have a hometown. Like, when we were stationed in Vegas the first time, we were in... God, what was the address? I don't know. I was zoned for a school. It was Schofield Middle School or something like that. And then we moved on base, which put me in a different school zone. And it didn't bother me. And now I'm in Vegas again, but I'm living with my boyfriend. So if I were to be going to school, I would definitely be in a different school zone. I live about 45 minutes away from the rest of my family. So even now, being in the place I've lived the most, I've never lived in a single house here that long. So, yeah. Is home really where the heart is? I don't think so. I think home is where your loved ones are. Or, just where you sleep at night. And I think everybody should try and make the most of that. Because, if you lose your home, yeah, that really sucks. But if you put everything into that, that's going to make it so much worse. Versus if you think, you know what, I'm going to come back from this, I'm going to get a different home, and I'm going to love it even more. I think that'll help. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm crazy. 11. When scrolling through social media, do you prefer posts from celebrities or from your best friends? My best friends all the way. I don't follow any celebrities on anything. Because I don't care. I don't care what they had for breakfast. I don't care that today's trash day for them, whatever. But I do care when my friends are, going through a rough patch, or their nephew just turned 3. I care about the people that I know. I want to hear how they're doing. Just because I don't talk with them all the time doesn't change the fact that I care about them, or at the very least, I cared about them for many years to the point that now I still want to know that they're doing okay. How do people get their gossip fix? Oh. I mean, I'm not really big into gossip. I watch a lot of shows where there's gossip and stuff. Does that count? 12. Is there an app that you hate but use anyway? No. Not, let me pull up my phone. Let's see. I used a camera app, which is good. I used maps, which is good. Clock, good. Reminders and notes, good. Messenger, I use Facebook, Instagram, Peak, Michaels, Discord, Calculator, Slack, Starbucks, Kisi, Fitbit, an authorization, Reddit, MyPlate. And I don't really use anything on the second page. So, no. The ones that I have, I don't hate. Although, I mean, I guess the authorization one I hate because I have to use it for work, and it's just one more steps. That's, it's annoying, but I fully support the security that comes with that. So, and generally it's just an open, you have so many seconds to enter this code, and there you go. So, I'm gonna go with no. If I hate an app and use it anyway, it'd better serve some kind of purpose. Okay, 13, random, funny questions to ask. If you could only speak one word today, what would you say? Let them decide, then make them live by it for 10 minutes. Okay, so I'm not going to use yes or no, because I can still nod my head and shake my head. Probably bathroom, just because, I always have to pee. I'm always drinking water. Stay hydrated, you guys. Please, I hope you're doing the same. But, I'll be watching shows with David, and I'll be like, okay, pause, please. I have to go to the bathroom. So... Although, I mean, he'll figure it out when I pause it and run to the bathroom. I don't know. I got nothing, you guys. 14, what is the stupidest thing you've done because someone dared you to? I don't think I've really done anything stupid for a dare. My core friend group, we were never, big on dares and stuff like that. It never got crazy or serious, so I got nothing, you guys. I think I had to pretend I was dancing with the wall once. That was kind of stupid, but it was hilarious. So 15, what is the stupidest thing you've done on your own free will? I think it means of your own free will. So what's the stupidest thing I've done? I think I've already told you guys this story, but if you guys have not heard it yet, I'm sure you will laugh at me. So, picture this. I am in Germany. I am in first or second grade. I am very young. My brother is a newborn, and he cannot crawl out of the bassinet that he is in. He is in his bedroom upstairs. My bedroom is downstairs. And I spend a lot of time down there because that's where the video games are. That's where the Nintendo 64 is. That's where my TV is. And I have no memory of doing this, but we all know I did it. Anyways, the part where my memory starts is my parents pull me into the hallway out of my bedroom, and I'm just like, hi, what's up, whatever. I will get that in a moment. And so they're like, hey, Liz, did you write on the wall? I was like, no. Like, are you sure? Did you write on the wall? I was like, no, Chris did. Chris is my younger brother who, as I said earlier, was in his bassinet upstairs and could not even crawl. So there was no way he was going to crawl down the stairs and draw on crayon on the wall. And they're like, no, he's asleep upstairs and he only comes downstairs with mommy, so he couldn't have drawn on the wall. Liz, did you draw on the wall? It's like, no, Graybeard did. Graybeard was our cat. So my parents look at each other and they look at me and they're like, so the cat decided one day to pick up a crayon and draw on the wall, and what he decides to write is Liz. You guys, I wrote my name on the wall. I blamed my brother who couldn't walk, and then I blamed the cat. I'm so stupid. I'm gonna go see what was at the door now. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry, that was my Amazon Fresh order being delivered. Yay! I don't have to go grocery shopping. Okay, so, stupidest thing. Yeah, that's gonna be the stupidest thing. 16. If you could lock up one person in a mental institution, who would it be? Your mother? A politician? Your boss? It would be a politician. I'm not going to go into details about who. I'm sure we can all figure it out. 17. What part of your body could use a little lotion? The heels of my feet. Oh yeah, it could always use more lotion because the heels of my feet just get so dry. 18. What part of the human face is your favorite? Eyes. Definitely the eyes. Especially David's, you guys. He has, what is it called? Linear heterochromia? No. So, the iris is generally the one color. He has one strip on one of his eyes that's a different color. So if his eyes are gray, there's just a line on part of his iris that's brown or hazelish. Love it. And his mom has the same one, and I love it on her too. Eyes all the way. 19. I'm gonna read it what it says. Do you do dance crazy when no one is looking? I think what it means is, do you dance crazy when no one is looking? Yes, I do, and sometimes I dance crazy when people are looking, just because it gets some laughs, and everybody feels better after that, right? 20. What was the best thing before sliced bread? Man, I don't know when sliced bread was invented. I swear I read somewhere that Betty White is older than sliced bread. Is that wrong? If so, are cars older than sliced bread? Because then I would still say cars are still better than sliced bread. Like, I could cut my own bread loaf, I'm just saying. Or I'll eat it as is, so it's whatever. Bread is yummy. So, alright, so that is the end of this. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video for every single minute of work that I did.
And that is the end of Christmas Minis 'Tis the Season. I got 54 minutes of footage, so I think this is the first one that took me under an hour. Oh dear, the whole thing is moving. Oh, David's food is beeping. So there's 'Tis the Season. It's very cute. It's got French knots in it. Okay. So, that's all I've got. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that jazz. And I'll see you guys in the next video.